Microorganisms were the first forms of life to develop on earth, and they exhibit the greatest genetic and metabolic diversity. They are a very important component of the biosphere and serve an important role in the maintenance and sustainability of ecosystems. It is believed that they compose about 50% of the living biomass. In order to survive, they have evolved mechanisms that enable them to respond to selective pressures exerted by various environments and competitive challenges. Some of these microorganisms are disease causing, and therefore, humans want to eliminate them from their habitat through the use of antimicrobial agents. Microorganisms have responded to this by developing resistant mechanisms to fight off the offensive. Currently, antimicrobial resistance among bacteria, viruses, parasites and other disease causing organisms is a serious threat to global infectious disease management. Antibiotics are one of the most important therapeutic discoveries in medical history. They have revolutionized the way of treatment of patients with bacterial infections and have contributed in reducing mortality and morbidity caused from bacterial diseases. They are also an essential tool for the modern medicine and extensively used in common procedures such as transplantation, chemotherapy for cancer and orthopedic surgeries. Antibiotics were discovered in the middle of the 19th century. However, soon after the discovery of penicillin in 1940, a number of treatment failures began to be noticed, including the existence of some bacteria such as Staphylococci, which were no longer sensitive to penicillin. This marked the beginning of antimicrobial resistance. Antibiotic discovery started in the early 1900s by Alexander Fleming, who observed inhibition of growth on his agar plate on which he was growing Staphylococcus species. He found that this was due to the excretion of some chemical into the media by a microorganism also growing in the agar, which was later named Penicillium notatum. This marked the beginning of the discovery of penicillins. The observation that Staphylococcus species could still grow in the presence of penicillin was the beginning of the era of antimicrobial resistance. It was realized that the drugs described as magical bullets could not be used for a prolonged period, since the microorganisms could develop resistance against them. Antibiotic resistance has increasingly become a problem in recent years because the speed at which we are discovering novel antibiotics has slowed drastically while antibiotic use is rising. This is not just a problem confined to bacteria, but to all microbes that have the potential to mutate and render our drugs ineffective. For more than 60 years, antibacterial drugs have been used to cure infections, whether or not their use is appropriate. In his Nobel Prize speech in 1945, Alexander Fleming, the discoverer of penicillin, warned that bacteria could become resistant to these remarkable drugs. Indeed, the development of each new antimicrobial drug has been followed by the detection of resistance to it. The development of resistance is a normal evolutionary process for microorganisms, but it is accelerated by the selective pressure exerted by the widespread use of antibacterial drugs. Resistant strains are able to propagate and spread where there is non-compliance with infection prevention and control measures. Increasing prevalence of resistance has been reported in many pathogens over the years in different regions of the world, including developing countries. This has been attributed to changing microbial characteristics, selective pressures of antimicrobial use, and societal and technological changes that enhance the development and transmission of drug resistant organisms. Although antimicrobial resistance is a natural biological phenomena, it is often enhanced as a consequence of the adaptation of infectious agent to exposure to antimicrobials used by humans or in agriculture, and the widespread use of disinfectants at the farm and the household levels. It is now accepted that antimicrobial use is the single most important factor responsible for increased antimicrobial resistance. In general, the reasons for increasing antibiotic resistance levels are suboptimal use of antimicrobials for prophylaxis and treatment of infection, non-compliance with infection control practices, prolonged hospitalization, increased number and duration of intensive care unit stays, multiple comorbidities with hospitalized patients, increased use of invasive devices and catheters, ineffective infection control practices, transfer of colonized patients from hospital to hospital, grouping of colonized patients in long-term care facilities, antibiotic use in agriculture and household chores, and increasing national and international travel. The level of antibiotic resistance is dependent on various factors. The population of organisms that spontaneously acquire resistant mechanisms as a result of selective pressure either from antibiotic use or otherwise. The rate of introduction from the community of those resistant organisms into healthcare settings and the proportion that is spread from person to person. All of these factors must be considered in order to control the spread of antimicrobial resistant organisms within healthcare settings. Community acquired antimicrobial resistance is increasing in large part because of the widespread suboptimal use of antibiotics in the outpatient settings and the use of antibiotics in animal husbandry and agriculture. In order to understand the mechanisms of resistance, it is important to know how antimicrobial agents act. Antimicrobial agents act selectively on vital microbial functions with minimal effects or without affecting host functions. Different antimicrobial agents act in different ways. The understanding of these mechanisms as well as the chemical nature of the antimicrobial agents is crucial in the understanding of the ways in which resistance against them develops. Antimicrobial agents may be described as either bacteriostatic or bactericidal. Bacteriostatic antimicrobial agents. Bacteriostatic antimicrobial agents only inhibit the growth or multiplication of the bacteria. As a result, the immune system of the host has enough time to clear them from the system. In this case, the complete elimination of the bacteria is dependent on the competence of the immune system. Bactericidal antimicrobial agents. Bactericidal antimicrobial agents kill the bacteria. Therefore, the bacteria will be dead with or without a competent immune system of the host. The mechanism of action of antimicrobial agents can be further categorized based on the structure of the bacteria or the function that is affected by the agents. Some functions that are generally affected are inhibition of the cell wall synthesis, inhibition of ribosome function, inhibition of nucleic acid synthesis, inhibition of folate metabolism, inhibition of cell membrane function. The problem of antimicrobial resistance was not cited prior to 1990s, but gradually treatment failures were increasingly seen in the healthcare settings against first line drugs and second line drugs or more. Microorganisms were increasingly becoming resistant to ensure their survival against the antimicrobial agents which were applied on them. They achieved this through different means, but primarily based on the chemical structure of the antimicrobial agent and the mechanisms through which the agent acted. The resistance mechanism therefore depended on the specific pathways that are inhibited by the drugs and the alternative ways available for those pathways that the organisms can modify to find a way around in order to survive. Resistance can be described in two ways: intrinsic or natural resistance and acquired resistance. Intrinsic or natural resistance. In intrinsic or natural resistance, the microorganisms do not naturally possess target sites for the drugs and therefore, the drug does not affect them, or they naturally have low permeability to those agents because of the differences in the chemical nature of the drug and the microbial membrane structures, especially for those that require entry into the microbial cell in order to effect their action. Acquired resistance. In acquired resistance, a naturally susceptible microorganism acquires ways of not being affected by the drug. Acquired resistance mechanisms can occur through various ways. The presence of an enzyme that inactivates the antimicrobial agent, the presence of an alternative enzyme for the enzyme that is inhibited by the antimicrobial agent, a mutation in the antimicrobial agent's target which reduces the binding of the antimicrobial agent, post-transcriptional or post-translational modification of the antimicrobial agent's target which reduces binding of the antimicrobial agent, reduced uptake of the antimicrobial agent, active efflux of the antimicrobial agent, overproduction of the target of the antimicrobial agent, expression or suppression of a gene in vivo in contrast to the situation in vitro, previously unrecognized mechanisms. Beta-lactam antibiotics are a group of antibiotics characterized by the possession of a beta-lactam ring. This group includes penicillins, cephalosporins, carbapenems, oxapenems and cefamycin. The penicillin are one of the most commonly used antibiotics in developing countries because of their ready availability and relatively low cost. The beta-lactam ring is important for the activity of these antibiotics, which results in the inactivation of a set of transpeptidases that catalyze the final cross-linking reactions of peptidoglycan synthesis in bacteria. The effectiveness of these antibiotics relies on their ability to reach the penicillin binding protein PBP intact and their ability to bind to the PBPs. Resistance to beta-lactams in many bacteria is usually due to the hydrolysis of the antibiotic by a beta-lactamase or the modification of PBPs or cellular permeability. Beta lactamases constitute a heterogeneous group of enzymes which are classified according to different ways, including their hydrolytic spectrum, susceptibility to inhibitors, genetic localization, plasmid or chromosomal, and gene or amino acid protein sequence. The functional classification scheme of beta lactamases defines 4 groups according to their substrate and inhibitor profiles. These are group 1. Group 1 are cephalosporinases that are not well inhibited by clavulanic acid. Group 2. Group 2 are penicillinases, cephalosporinases and broad spectrum beta lactamases that are generally inhibited by active site directed beta lactamase inhibitors. Group 3. Group 3 are metallo beta lactamases that hydrolyze penicillins, cephalosporins and carbapenems and are poorly inhibited by almost all beta lactam containing molecules. Group 4. Group 4 are penicillinases that are not well inhibited by clavulanic acid. Tetracyclines are another group of very commonly used antimicrobial agents in both human and veterinary medicine in developing countries because of their availability and low cost as well as low toxicity and broad spectrum of activity. The tetracyclines were discovered in the 1940s. They inhibit protein synthesis by preventing the attachment of amino acyl tRNA to the ribosomal acceptor A site. They are broad spectrum agents exhibiting activity against a wide range of gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Typical organisms such as Chlamydia, Mycoplasmas and Rickettsia and protozoan parasites. Examples of these include drugs such as tetracycline, doxycycline, minocycline and oxytetracycline. Resistance to these agents occurs mainly through 3 mechanisms: efflux of the antibiotics, ribosome protection and modification of the antibiotic. These tetracycline resistant determinants are widespread in different microorganisms. Efflux of the drug occurs through an export protein from the major facilitator superfamily MFS. These export proteins are membrane associated proteins which are coded for by TET efflux genes and export tetracycline from the cell. Export of tetracycline reduces the intracellular drug concentration and thus protects the ribosomes within the cell. Tetracycline efflux proteins have amino acid and protein structure similarities with other efflux proteins involved in multiple drug resistance, quaternary ammonium resistance and chloramphenicol and quinolone resistance. The gram negative efflux genes are widely distributed and normally associated with large plasmids, most of which are conjugative. Ribosome protection occurs through ribosome protection proteins that protect the ribosomes from the action of tetracyclines. Ribosome protection proteins are cytoplasmic proteins that bind to the ribosome and cause an alternation in ribosome conformation which prevents tetracycline from binding to the ribosome without altering or stopping protein synthesis. They confer resistance mainly to doxycycline and minocycline and confer a wider spectrum of resistance to tetracyclines than is seen with bacteria that carry tetracycline efflux proteins. On the other hand, modification of the antibiotic occurs through enzymatic alternation of the drugs. Some of these genes are coded for by TETX genes. Chloramphenicol binds to the 50S ribosomal subunit and inhibits the peptidyl transferase step in protein synthesis. Resistance to chloramphenicol is generally due to the inactivation of the antibiotic by a chloramphenicol acetyl transferase. Various enzymes have been described and are coded for by the CAT genes found in gram negative and gram positive bacteria and usually show little homology. Sometimes decreased outer membrane permeability or active efflux is responsible for the resistance in gram negative bacteria. Antibiotics are one of the most important therapeutic discoveries in medical science. They have helped mankind in preventing and curing many diseases. However, now antibiotic resistance has increasingly become a problem. In this interaction, we have learned about various mechanisms of antimicrobial resistance and some examples of antibiotic resistance. In our next interaction, we will discuss about some more examples of antibiotic resistance and some organisms that are resistant to antibiotics. We will also discuss about various techniques for containing resistance.